Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about 5 things that I believe Blazing needs to really just improve and become a better game overall. I do think that the developers for Blazing have been doing a good job of adding new things. It's definitely a far cry from what it was before, and that's pretty good. Like, I like that. I like that because, like, literally 2 to 3 months ago, if you would have told me that a lot of these features were in the game, I wouldn't have believed you, but they are now, and that's very important. Just because the game's going on almost its 4th year, you need to spice it up. It's a given. So I'm glad the developers have been listening. The only problem is that I feel like that a lot of the changes that have come into the game now, yes, they should be praised for that, but a lot of these, like golds being taken out and the ability to buy things in bulk and PvP crashes, these are things that we've been asking for years. So I don't want them to get to where it's like the 6th anniversary or something like that, if we make it that far, which we're probably not at this rate. I don't want them to just now address the things that I'm mentioning here. I need them to do it soon. And I feel like a lot of us can agree on that because we do need changes very soon. Now, I want to get 2 things out of the way as well. First of all, I'm not a game developer, so I'm not too keen on the things they could be implementing into the game, of course. So, you know, I'm just going to be saying that outright. You know, I'm not a game developer, so I don't have the insight that they do when it comes to the game, but I do play it a lot, and I've been playing it for a couple years now, so I have that insight at least. Now, the second thing I want to say also is that I don't speak on behalf of everyone in the Blazing community. You know, these are just changes that I would love to see to the game, or just in general to be added to the game to make it even more fun, or just give it some more variety and spice it up. So I don't think it can hurt to throw out some ideas. You know, it'll be fun to just brainstorm some things. So let's go ahead and jump on into the first thing that I think Blazing needs. The daily banner. Now, this is very simple. This is something they could outright do right now, and I'm referring to the free once daily summon. That's really cool that we're even able to do a summon every day and you can get something free. But this banner is almost horrible. Like, the only reason that I ever summon on this, and probably a lot of you as well, is to get it for your daily ninja trial, because this is how you get the daily ninja trial without spending any pearls every day. So that is why. But with hindsight, we actually thought this banner was going to be amazing when it first dropped, because on the 14th day, the Blazing Bash units come out to play. So hey, that kind of rhymes. But what's really good is that, yeah, you can actually get a Blazing Bash unit. On the 14th day, I did it the other day, I actually ended up pulling Blazing Bash Neji. Now, the only problem is all the units in this, they need to be updated. They really do. Like, this hasn't been updated in a year. The only good Blazing Bash unit really in here is Minato, and even him, I don't see him too much nowadays. They need to update it. They really do. And I'm not sure if Fate Golds are still in this or not, because this came out before that. But if that is the case, they do need to pull those out as well. They need to update it, though. They need to spice it up. Now, they can still keep it where you get a guaranteed on the 14th day. It's not really a guarantee. It's a guaranteed gold. But they need to make it where the rates are better for this banner right here, and that the units are newer, because it hasn't been updated in so long. There's literally no reason to do it. Now, these exclusive units right here, that's not really that bad. They're really not. Like Sasori, that would be pretty cool to get, Yagura and them, but they need to update it more. They need to put better units in here. They can put Kushina in here because she is a really good unit that can switch typing like that. She's just a normal banner unit. They need to update this a lot. And they could definitely keep it on the 14th day where you're guaranteed something. But what they could do also is make it where that 14th day actually is guaranteed something. Like, it doesn't have to be Blazing Bash. It could be a guaranteed Blazing Festival. You could think of it as like an SR ticket or an SSR ticket over in Grand Cross. I think that's really cool. So that'd be a very good way to go ahead and give new players or just people a chance to actually get something. Because right now this banner is really bad. And what I really like that Tribes does is that Tribes updates their banner, and the game just came out. Like, you can literally pull the latest UR before the one that's featured right now on that banner, and that's crazy to me. Like, can you imagine having Hashirama, Blazing Festival Hashirama on this? Now, I'm not saying that's what they should do, but they could definitely add newer units. Like, it doesn't have to be Blazing Festival necessarily or something crazy, but just give us something better, because everything in this is stale. Now, the second change, I don't think this is surprising for a lot of you. Yes, they need to raise the rates on these banners. Now, Blazing is a very free-to-play friendly game, in my opinion. I'll be talking on that in another video that will be coming out very soon, and why I love it because of that. Because like it's so easy to just play. Like, I haven't spent money on this game in almost 2 years, and I did that out of want, not need. You don't need to, and that's what I really love about this game. You can't say that about a lot of other games, but with that said, the rates need to be improved, and this isn't even something that's a far cry to ask for, because we've had this in the past. Now, we do have step-ups that increase the rates, and they can still leave those, but right now, as it stands, the .33 is not okay. Back in the day, longtime players who've been playing Blazing for a long time know that at one time or another, there were 1% rates, and even as far back to like a year ago, we had it on the Blazing Bash dual banner they had last year when they implemented the Ultimate Ninja Showdown. They put 1% rates up for the units just across the board, and I can't believe that that hasn't been done yet. Like, just raise it from .33 to 1% for every step, and then on the step ups, 3%, 6%, 9%, you know, because even with that, you're still gonna get shafted. You're still gonna get shafted. One of the biggest things in this game that I don't understand why people say is that, yeah, fake golds are out, now everything's okay. No, the reason fake golds getting taken out were so important is because we've been asking for it for years. As I said earlier, yes, that is good, but don't get complacent. Don't be like, okay, the developers can get a pass now, we'll wait another year before they do something like that. No, yes, fake golds are good to be taken out, but if you guys have seen my recent summoning video, I did a full rotation and the shaft was real. Most of those golds in there are just the equivalent of a fake. I'm never gonna use them, and I don't need them. So that is the same thing. They need to raise the rates, and even if with the 1%, that's still only a 1%. You're likely to get shafted, and that's not the issue. It's just the fact that they're so low. 1%, that's all we're asking for. We're not asking for a 5% or something crazy. 1% across the board. And again, this isn't even out of the realm of possibility. They've done this before. This is something that was already in the game that was taken out for no reason. Well, we know the reason, greed, but they could still do that. And again, I know they need to make money, but you're still gonna get shafted. It's still gonna happen, but just showing that you care to help your player base out just an inch more to pulling things, that would go a long way to just make us feel like you actually care about us summoning and trying to get the unit. Because right now it feels like it's stacked against you. It really does. So that would be a really good thing for them to raise the rates across the board for every banner 1%, and then the step ups, they don't have to be the normal one. If they want to cut those back, then it is what it is, but we need the rates to at least be a 1% across the board. Now, this one's kind of a big one, but I need them to revamp the multiplayer. Now, this is kind of vague, and they could do this in a lot of ways, because really the only good game mode in this game for multiplayer is PvP, and it's pretty challenging. It's kind of cancerous too. So PvP in this game is really the only good one. Yes, you can play multiplayer with people on here, but nobody likes to do so. And there's a bunch of things they could do. One thing right out the bat that they could do that's very simple and that would fix a lot of problems are just add ×2. You don't want to sit there for an hour. In PvP, it's fine because you can actually do it and you have time to think. But when you're on a player versus everybody situation, you don't want to sit there for so long when the AI keeps taking forever to attack. If you get on a raid with continuouses and a lot of grunts, that can take so long because of how slow it is. For PvP, it's fine to have it at a base ×1 speed. That's fine because it's like chess. You want to take your time. But with PvP, add the ×2 option and just make it ingrained. You don't need ×1 for that. Just make it like, you don't have to have it as a setting because obviously you wouldn't be able to have it set for everybody. Or if they want to, maybe they make it where the host can choose to take it on or off. But I really don't think that should be the thing either because some hosts could be bad. You should just make it where it's automatically ×2. And now another thing that would be really good for that as well is that when it comes to the PvP or PvE, a lot of people also don't like playing raids because there's no incentive to do so. You can just take your team and do it yourself. Now, super impacts are kind of the change for this because they're kind of just like able to make it where you want to take another friend because the extra effect units. the extra effect units are something that are very important. Yes, if you own the unit, you can go ahead and jump into the raid, but if you take a friend who has it, then you get an extra effect unit. So that's really good, and I think they should do that. But as it stands, super impact is like the only thing, and it's not always worth it. A lot of people just do it themselves, me included. So they could add a new game mode where maybe you have to do it. A really good example of that is in Ninja Voltage, I believe. In Ninja Voltage, they have it where for the Sam mission, or even just the other one, where you're just rising up the leaderboard and you have team battles and solo battles. Those are really good because it's so hard. Like, also one of the big deals with this is that the super impacts usually aren't that hard if you have the extra effect unit, so you don't need to take anybody else. But they need to make a game mode where it's not hard necessarily, but the boss has so much HP that you have to go and take someone with you. Now, this boss rush does kind of have that a little bit, but it's done in such a bad way that it's not quite where it should be. I'm talking about one boss that has a lot of health, and that if you take more people, not only do you get more rewards similarly to that multiplayer mission that everybody hates, but you also are able to just do it easier because you need more people. Like, you actually have to have more people because of how much health the boss has, and you can go ahead and do it like that. I don't like how the raid is in Ninja Tribes because you have to do it over time. I don't like that, but just being able to take more people and having an incentive to actually play multiplayer. And on top of that, they can also add a special shop. Yeah, we have that multiplayer mission, but nobody likes that, mostly because of a lot of the reasons I stated. But they could also give us another tab here, similarly to, like I said, Ninja Voltage. I love playing the multiplayer in that game because you get so many more points and you can buy gear and just more fragments for your shinobi, and that's really helpful. They could give you some special rewards. They could give you like 5-star ramen. They could give you more acquisition stones. They could give you like a new character, like a 7-star exclusive character, and they can make it where you only have this multiplayer mission once a month. That would be amazing. Something like that would be incredible. Now, one more thing I also just want to touch on before I stop talking about multiplayer. Another quick fix, like I said, they could add with the ×2 speed. They could just make it where if someone doesn't move for 3 turns, if they don't move for 3 turns, they get kicked. Because right now, a lot of the problem with PvP as well is a lot of people just go AFK and then it's not fun and you have to wait. They should also cut the time limit down. I feel like, again, it's not PvP, so you don't need to take your time so much. Again, new players, yeah, they're not going to know what to do necessarily, but you should restrict the time from 20 seconds to 10 in my opinion, because even then, if someone's AFK, it doesn't take so long. And again, if they don't move within 3 full turns, I feel as if they should be kicked. And again, they could even implement it maybe where after the 10 seconds, if they didn't move, instead of skipping a turn, you could let the host player move for them. But they should definitely just make it where the multiplayer is more fast-paced. Nobody plays it because it's so slow and there's no incentive to do so. Now, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Leveling up 5 Kage League units needs to be overhauled by a lot. Currently, the only 2 ways you can level up 5 Kage League units are by getting 5 Kage Ramen, which you can actually get in the 5 Kage League itself, or if you get qualified, the 5-star ramen, or through the Clash Coin shop. Now, the problem is they're not always in here and they are pretty expensive, but that is what it is. I think that should stay there, maybe reduce the price a little bit, but that's fine. The problem is I don't think they always add this. Now, they might be doing that now because they are adding more stuff. They're adding 5 Kage League units for free, and before I would say, okay, it makes sense. To level up your 5 Kage League units, you need to play in the 5 Kage League to get a lot of ramen. The only problem is they've started giving away 5 Kage League units for free. Sagemo Naruto through a panel, Sasuke in the shop, so no, there's no excuse anymore. They should be giving you more ways to get ramen for free as well without grinding heavily in 5 Kage, because not a lot of people are going to be able to do that. New players that get these units, they're never going to be able to level them up. And the amount of time that you have to spend in Ninja Road, which is going to be impossible for new players anyway, or just extremely tedious for long-time players like me, it takes so long. You have to play literally almost 100-something times to get a 5 Kage League unit from level 1 to level 100, and that's ridiculous. It should not take that long. Even if they want to keep it like that, I think that's fine. They could just add ways for you to get more ramen, or they can make it where it gets more levels. Even if they cut that in half and it only took 50 times to get a Kage League unit max through Ninja Road, that's still extremely tedious. So again, what they could do, going along with the multiplayer, like I said, they could add a new mission, a new type of mission that you can only do either so many times maybe, or it's just really challenging and you have to go through it and it gives you 5 Kage League missions. They could definitely replace this once daily XP that is worthless and put something there for 5 Kage, and that would make it so much easier just for leveling up the units, and that would go a long way because right now it's just, it takes too long. Obviously, if you play PvP, you're gonna get the ramen for it. But for new players, what are they supposed to do? Now, I know PvP is an in-game thing, but even for me, man, like, I don't play Ninja Road and grind the Kage League units up anymore. It's too tedious. I've done it so many times, and it's just boring. It's stale, and that type of tediousness burns the player out, and that's not good. So they definitely need to implement a new way for you to level up 5 Kage League units. Even if they just wanted to add it where you could get more ramen, that's a simple thing right there. But I really think like a new game mode or something like that that's specific for that, I feel like that would be really good, because Ninja Road, that's a little too long to play over and over and over and over again. And there's literally 10 maps. That's like 3 super impacts. So yeah, that's a little too much. Obviously some of the maps are easier than others, but I just think it's still too tedious. Even if you speedrun it, the amount of times you have to do it, it's too much. So they need to fix that. Now, finally but not least, they need to add more challenges into the game. Again, like I said earlier, with the shop, they could add a new shop and give you new ways to get stuff, but they could definitely add some new things into the challenges. Like I said, when you look at other games like Grand Cross or even Ninja Tries that has a lot of challenges, those are really rewarding. Now, I think Grand Cross obviously does it better because it's more oriented to quests and things of that nature, but just making it where once a month you get a guaranteed 5-star Blazing Festival ticket in here, that would be amazing. That would be really amazing. There's a lot of Blazing Festival units. The chances of you pulling the same one over and over again and getting dupes from them is very unlikely, because obviously they need the money, I understand that. But if they just added a ticket, once a month, a ticket to get a guaranteed Blazing Fest unit, that would be amazing. That would be like a guaranteed SSR ticket. That would be amazing. And again, that would still mean that you would have to either use stones or summon on banners if you want dupes, because the pool of Blazing Fest units are so big that you're still likely to get something bad. So they should add that, or add challenges that give you something. I don't think they need to add more challenges for pearls. Honestly, I feel like that's fine. Yes, you only get 4 a day, but it actually adds up pretty quickly, which I'll talk about in another video. It's really not that bad. I think that's fine. There just needs to be more things to do, because right now there feels like there's nothing to do. Like, yes, you can get limit break crystals, but that's about it. That's really it. Maybe they could add something like more challenges to where you have to take like a certain setup of a team. Like, okay, for a certain super impact, like for Kinkaku and Ginkaku, take a Darui and something. Now the problem with that is the super impacts are usually made with the Blazing Fest unit in mind, but you get what I'm saying. They could definitely add some challenges to the game that just add something to do, something. I know that's very vague of me to say, but even if they just added a ticket and you were able to get it every month, that's one challenge. That's at least the very bare minimum they could add, and people would love that. They would absolutely love that. So yeah, I think that is very important. They need to revamp this. Of course, you get a ton of stuff if you haven't been playing for such a long time. Like me, there's plenty of trials for new players to do, but for old players like me, another thing that would be really fun is let us reset ours. Or at the very least, what they could also do, and I've said this for a long time, when it comes to challenges, you kind of have mini challenges in the form of these mission rewards that you get right here for doing those. Now, one thing I've been saying for a long time is that for long-time players that have at least reached like level 200, 300, what I think 200 you should say, because 200 is kind of like, yeah, I feel like that's a good mark. Once people get to 200, let them reset their pearl count or something. Let them reset the pearl count for the missions that they've done. Like, that would be amazing, and that would help out so much. Now, again, that would help a lot of people to getting pearls and stuff. I understand that. But, like, there's no reason to ever touch these old missions ever again. At least if you reset the pearls, we would have a reason to do it. And you don't have to do it more than once. Like, once you get to level 200, reset it. That's that. You know, that is what it is. But they should just give you some more incentives to just play missions and do stuff like that, because 99 luck is not enough. it really isn't when a lot of these units aren't worth it. So hopefully that makes sense, and that's really it. I know this was like a long video, but this is stuff that I wanted to touch on, and I'm just getting to the tip of the iceberg. There's so many different changes they could do with blazing, and I don't know if the developers really are. I'll be honest with you, I don't have faith in them. I really don't. But these things aren't crazy. A lot of these things like I said, have been in the game before. They just have to turn the switch back on. That's all they have to do. So let me know what you guys think of this, and maybe 1 or 2 suggestions that you would want. Again, I don't speak for everybody. These are just things that I would love to have in the game that I feel like a lot of people would maybe appreciate, but if not, I would definitely appreciate. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.